One thing that has consistently come up as I look and study African Indigenous architecture is this concept or aspect of the spirit of renewal in African Indigenous architecture. And it explains a lot why we built with mud. I know that a lot of scholars who've done studies, especially those from the Western communities, have just assumed that we built with mud because the resources readily available. We have plenty of laterite soil, but we also built incredible stone houses. For instance, where I come from in Mombasa, if you look at the coastal cities, our ancestors largely built with coral rocks. If you look at the Ashumite building techniques from the Ethiopia, Eritrea, you can see there are a lot of stone houses. And also the Great Zimbabwe, there were stone houses. But even though the technique of building with stone was there, a lot of our ancestors preferred to build with mud. There is this thing that our ancestors called the spirit of renewal. They acknowledge that when you erect a house, it is very important to use natural materials because they wanted that specific type of building and architecture to symbolize the cycle of life. The cycle of life also is that when you're born, you're young, you do not know anything, but the community comes, you're raised by the village, and then at a certain point in time, you build a house. This house, as you erect it, you also start to acknowledge that there comes a point in time when you're no longer going to be here. And so when you're no longer going to be here, you have to be able to acknowledge, are the architectural solutions that you're leaving behind going to be what the future generations need? And so in recognizing this, then the aspect of renewal comes in. So by choosing to build with mud predominantly, then you start to realize that, hey, you as a person over time, you are going to pass away. And as you pass away, whatever remains, these resources, the house, whatever you leave behind, that will automatically go to the next generation. There's a lot of acknowledgement of that. In knowing and acknowledging this, they started to appreciate that we want the building to be able to renew itself. And that's partly why a lot of the African communities also built with mud. They understood that these are materials that can easily, either someone can choose to continue to live in this house and continue to make it more and more incredible, or they can dismantle it and they can use the local materials and create something even much more grand or more suited to that time that they're living in. Understanding and appreciating that you as a person cannot fully predict the future, and you cannot fully know that the architectural solutions that you have put today will necessarily be the architectural solutions that the people will need tomorrow. This was a very interesting piece of like aha moments that I had, because it sat with me. I started to ask myself, so why do people then prefer to build with cement today? Do we tend to think that the architectural solutions we erect today will be suited for communities and our people in so many generations to come? Do we ever think about that? Do we ever think about why you want your cement house to last for centuries? Do we think about the renewal aspect of it? Do we take this into account when we build our houses today? Do we take into account that maybe perhaps the architectural solutions we're erecting today will not be the architectural solutions that the next generations will need? And what room of flexibility are we leaving for them to be able to work with a piece of architecture? As you see right now, the problem with building with concrete is that concrete is, as a material, as a building material, is not something that can easily just be destroyed like mud, and then you can take those building materials and then erect another house. No, when the building becomes completely destroyed, then it's just destroyed, it's ruined. That's pretty much it. You have to go get new types of materials for you to be able to erect a new building. I'm just curious, if you're building a house today, are you taking into account that it might be important to leave room for flexibility? What is your thought process, especially around durability and this concept concept of the spirit of renewal. The reason why I'm saying this is because we have a lot of issues when it comes to home ownership today, because if you look at some of the houses that have been built and they have lasted throughout, like, let's say 100, 200 years. Some of these houses are not accessible to a lot of the people because people are just not able to afford them. And so in building these houses that have been static for a very long time, it has created room for the real estate market to be manipulated in such a way these houses can only be owned by very few people. I'm just curious if this has created more of an housing problem than a solution, because affordability is something that is a huge topic when you talk about home ownership and pretty much building. I'm just curious if maybe things would have been much better and much different if we also considered this aspect of the spirit of renewal, where we build masterpieces of architecture. They can last a long time, but also if they had to be dismantled and rebuilt, then it becomes really easy. When I talk about the spirit of renewal, a really good example of this is when you look at the walls of Kano. Degradation has happened over a long period of time. And one of the things that stood out for me when I was reading some of this research is that the communities around, as the walls were degrading, they would even go and use the laterite soil that came from those walls. They used that area as a quarry where they would go and literally take some of the soil. And I think this is the real best and most close example that I could think of this concept of the spirit of renewal, because even as time changed and people started to build in a different way, that piece of architecture that was once a masterpiece, it suddenly turned into a quarry and a source of building materials. But that is not something that we can definitely say when it comes to concrete houses. I am not in any way, shape or form trying to deter people from building with concrete, but I just want to offer a new and fresh perspective. I thought this was a really incredible piece of information, and in my building process, I think this is something that I'm going to critically think of, because, for instance, I was asking my husband the other day, do you think that the piece of architecture that we erect today is automatically going to be the architectural solutions that our kids and the generations to come will need? And if not, then what room or what flexibility are we leaving for them to be able to say, hey, this doesn't suit me now, but it's a legacy that has been in my home, in my ancestors, and in my traditions. I want to just change it a little bit. What flexibility are we leaving for them? And I think this is something that is driving me more and more to want to build with mud, because I appreciate that even over a period of time, if, let's say, the many generations that are going to come, if they feel that what we left behind is not suitable, they can use the techniques, the knowledge that we'll have left them, and what else they would have accrued over a period of time to be able to build masterpieces for themselves. This was very interesting to discover and to learn about, and I thought I'd share here and get your thoughts as well. So feel free to comment down below. Be sure to like the video, and if there's any way you're able to support the channel, then, for instance, become a member or donate a book. That will be highly appreciated.